In this video, we're going to take a look at the contour flange command inside of our sheet metal environment. Now, the contour flange is another core creation tool, but it allows us to do more complex geometry creation very quickly. So I'm going to begin our new 2D sketch here in a new sheet metal template on the XY plane. And I'll simply start my line tool here and create some initial line work. So a line straight over, up here, down, straight down, and then over. I'll put a few dimensions on. Let's do 1 there. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this out. Do another general dimension here. This will be 0.375 going up. This will be another 1. 375 is a driven dimension. Another value here. This will be 2. Put an angle on this one, 120. Right click and choose OK. Make a few adjustments. We'll change this from 375 to 0.5. We can see the driven dimension value update. So if we want to get rid of that, we can. We don't really need it. I'll go ahead and finish our 2D sketch. And we'll begin the contour flange command up on our create panel. From here, we specify the line work sketch that we just created. Notice it was not a closed profile. This has to be an open profile for this to work. And we'll look at this from the front side here. Notice how it's building the geometry in one direction. It's going straight down. You can also build it going straight up instead by changing our offset direction here. So I'll flip the side. And notice here we can also choose a both sides to create that line work as the asymmetrical sort of reference for how we create our contour flange. Notice that it is also adding in the curvature for us for the bends as well. So our profile has been selected. We have our bend radius set by our sheet metal styles. We have our width extents down here. So this is our 2 inches that we're currently seeing as the width of this contour flange. We can also make that go the other way or also asymmetrically around the XY plane. Here I'll change this value to 2.5. And now since this is more complex geometry creation than just our face command, we also have additional tools to look at on the unfold options. So we have an unfold rule for this metal. We have our bend controls and our corner controls, but we're really not running into anything that really requires it here just yet. So in the unfold options, though, we could change our default unfold rule to something else if we needed to. For now, I'll choose OK. And there's our initial shape. If we need to modify it, simply click on any face that created it and choose Edit to get back into the contour flange. Here I'm going to choose an Edit Sketch because I would like to add an arc over here at the end. Curves up this way. Here I'll just put a dimension on there of 1. Finish the 2D sketch. Notice how it did not update. So I need to edit the contour flange and have it also include that profile. I'll choose OK, and we can see the curvature bending up. Let's take a look at another example. So I'll start another new template. Start a 2D sketch on the XY plane again. This time I'd like to create a banded shape, something that's a complete curve with no straight lines. So I draw in a simple circle here, and I'll make this 3 inches. Next, I'll draw in some lines radiating up from the origin. Let me just exaggerate this over here so it doesn't accidentally connect to the top on me. And these 3 lines I'm going to highlight and turn into construction. Next, I'll add a dimension on here of an angle between these. I'll make this just simply 5 degrees. Now do a symmetry reference between these 2 lines, symmetrical to this 3rd line. Now with that up here at the top, I'm actually going to perform a split, or a trim actually would work. Let's do that instead, to trim off those pieces of the line. Now the reason I'm doing this is because the contour flange needs an open profile. The circle was going to be a closed profile and that would not work. So I had to open it up. I'll go ahead and finish the 2D sketch. Start the contour flange command. Notice when you right click, it's not available in our marquee menu. However, if you use contour flange enough, You can customize your right-click marking menu to add contour flange. Instead, I'll go up to the Creation panel and do Create Contour Flange. Go ahead and select that profile there, that line work. You can see we get the same options we did in the previous example, where we can go one direction or the other, or flip it to be a neutral axis. Then our length here, I'll change this one to be 4 inches. We also have unfold options available for this. I'll choose OK. Now, how does Inventor handle this when it tries to flatten it? Because it's a complete curvature. Well, it does have a bend radius to this. So if I did create a flat pattern, it actually would show the bend line. It would just be a very large radius.